You ever look at the clock and realize it's 4 p.m. and you've done nothing that truly mattered? Emails, scrolling, replying, reacting, and yet that one goal you said was your priority, still untouched, still pending, still haunting you. But here's what the Stoics knew. Time isn't just passing, it's being stolen. Not by thieves in the night, but by distractions we invite in, by habits we pretend are harmless, by just 5 more minutes that turn into forgotten dreams. Ever wonder why some people seem to make more progress with less time? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's rules, internal rules, built like shields, protecting their focus from everything unworthy of it. So stay with me, because in this video, you'll learn 10 Stoic rules to lock in your energy, guard your time like gold, and turn your focus into your superpower. And if you stay till the end, I'll share the most underrated rule that helped me stop wasting years on things that looked productive but were silently killing my progress. Let's begin. This video isn't about working harder. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. or squeezing more into your to-do list. It's about something deeper. It's about reclaiming the one thing you'll never get back: your time. Because most people don't lose their lives in one big moment, they lose it. Minute by minute, day by day, to distraction that felt small but stole something big. And the worst part, they don't even realize it until it's too late. The Stoics saw this coming. Thousands of years ago, Seneca wrote, "It's not that life is short, it's that we waste so much of it." So what do? We build rules, not for the world, but for ourselves. Internal disciplines, mental boundaries, daily reminders of what matters and what doesn't. That's what this video gives you. Stoic rules to sharpen your attention, protect your energy, and move through each day with purpose, not just motion. And at the end, I'll reveal the one rule that helped me stop feeling busy and start actually building what I said I wanted. You ready? Let's start with a story. Meet Noah. Noah had goals, big ones: start a business, get in shape, write that book he'd been thinking about for years. Every Monday, he'd open a fresh to-do list. Every Friday, he'd feel that same quiet shame of another week lost to busy work. Noah wasn't lazy. He was just unarmed. No shields against distractions, no boundaries for his time, no rules to protect. His focus from everything that felt urgent but meant nothing in the long run. He was spending his life on things that made him look productive but left him feeling empty. Until one day, he stopped asking, "How do I get more done?" and started asking, "What do I need to stop doing to actually move forward?" That shift, it changed everything. He stopped replying to every message, stopped checking metrics 10 times a day, stopped mistaking motion for meaning, and started living by rules, daily disciplines, not driven by pressure, but by purpose, just like Noah. You don't need more time. You need fewer leaks. And now, I'll show you the 10 Stoic rules to help you do exactly that. Rule number 1, define your target daily. You wake up, check your phone, scroll, react, consume, and suddenly, the world has chosen your mood, your pace, your priorities, before you've even asked. What matters to me today? That's the problem. Most people don't waste time because they're lazy. They waste it because they don't decide where it should go. The Stoics lived by a code. No day without purpose. Every sunrise was a contract, a chance to direct energy towards something meaningful. Marcus Aurelius didn't ask, "How do I feel today?" He asked, "What is my function today as a human being?" Here's your shift. Stop starting your day in reaction. Start beginning your day with intention. Try this. Before you do anything, before the emails, before the noise, ask yourself one question. What is my true target today? Not 10 goals, not vague desires. One target, clear, concrete, controllable. Then write it down, not for motivation, but for alignment. Because without that target, your day belongs to everyone else. You'll chase distractions, feel busy, feel tired, and still wonder, why do I feel so far from what I actually want? But with that target, everything changes. You'll say no with clarity, you'll focus with direction, you'll move through chaos with a compass that's yours. Remember, the arrow only flies straight when the archer knows what he's aiming at. Rule number 2, win the first hour. The alarm goes off. You roll over, grab your phone, messages, notifications, someone else's priorities, before you've even remembered your own. And just like that, the world has hijacked your mind before you've even left your bed. But what if you reclaimed that hour? What if the first 60 minutes didn't belong to the world, but to you? The Stoics didn't just wake up, they prepared. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. It means don't wake up into noise, wake up into direction. Here's your shift. Stop starting your day in reaction. Start owning your morning like it's your battlefield. Try this. For the first hour, no phone, no inbox, no chaos. Instead, move your body. Sit in stillness. Review your one target. Write one sentence of reflection. Prime your mind for presence, not panic. Why? Because the way you start is the way you continue. And if your morning is led by emotion, your day will be ruled by reactivity. But if your morning is led by discipline, then your day becomes a weapon, sharpened by intention. Remember, you don't need a perfect day, you just need to win the first hour. Do that, and the rest will follow. Rule number 3, cut 1 hour of digital noise a day. We call it rest, we call it a break, we call it just scrolling. But what we're really doing is flooding our brain with everything except what we value. And the worst part, we think it's harmless. But deep down, you feel it. That scattered mind, that jumpy focus, that inability to sit still with a thought long enough to do something about it. Because here's the truth. What you consume shapes what you create. If you fill your head with chaos, don't be surprised when your day mirrors it. The Stoics warned. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought odd. It means be willing to step back from what everyone else calls normal. Here's your shift. Stop treating your attention like it's infinite. Start protecting it like your life depends on it, because it does. Try this. Pick 1 hour a day and cut the digital noise. No social, no YouTube, no scrolling, no inbox, just space, stillness, silence. Let your mind breathe without constant input. Because clarity doesn't come when you're looking at everyone else's life. It comes when you finally turn inward long enough to hear your own. You don't have to quit tech, just stop letting it eat. The very hours you need most, 1 hour a day. It's not withdrawal, it's reclamation of your mind, your time, your power. Rule number 4, say no to almost. It looks right, it feels kind of good, it sounds like a smart choice, but something inside you whispers, this isn't it. Still, you say yes to the job that's almost aligned. The habit that's not too bad, the relationship that's okay enough, and slowly your life fills up with maybes, until there's no room for what you actually want. Because here's the trap. Most lives aren't destroyed by disasters, but by distractions that looked close enough. The Stoics understood this. Seneca wrote, If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. It means you don't just need direction, you need the courage to say no to every detour that pretends to be your path. Here's your shift. Stop tolerating almost. Start honoring alignment, even if it means waiting longer, even if it means standing alone. Try this. When something shows up, ask, is this my path, or just a pause from the discomfort of waiting for what's real? If it's not a clear yes, make it a no, because every almost you let in today becomes a barrier to what you're really meant to build tomorrow. Protect your energy, protect your vision. Life is too short to water fake flowers. Choose what's true, not just what's available. Rule number 5, build before you broadcast. You get an idea, a goal, a spark, and before you've even started, you post about it. You tell your friends, you declare it out loud. It feels powerful, motivating, like momentum. But here's what happens. You trade the discipline of doing for the dopamine of telling. And before you've taken real action, you feel rewarded for a result you haven't earned. The Stoics called this out. They believed in quiet strength, invisible progress. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Here's your shift. Stop proving your plans. Start proving your patterns. Try this. Next time you want to share your goal, pause, ask, is this a building season or a broadcasting one? If you're still in the early steps, let your silence be your strategy, because real momentum doesn't come from external applause. It comes from showing up when no one's clapping yet, when no one's watching, when no one even knows what you're becoming. And one day, they won't need an announcement. They'll see it, they'll feel it, they'll realize you were never talking for attention. You were building in the dark so you could shine without permission. Remember, greatness isn't loud, it's consistent. Rule number 6, shrink your circle to grow your focus. Too many voices, too many opinions, too many people with access to your time, your attention, your energy, and every time you try to move forward, someone's pulling you sideways. Not out of hate, out of habit. They interrupt your flow, question your vision, distract you with their drama, and suddenly, your path isn't yours anymore. It's a crowdsourced maze. The Stoics kept their circle tight, not because they were arrogant, but because they were focused. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or rather, do what's essential." That includes who you listen to, who you let close, who you text back. Here's your shift. Stop giving everyone access. Start curating your input like your life depends on it, because it does. Try this. Audit your circle. Ask, who drains me? Who distracts me? Who confuses me? And don't hate them, just distance them. You don't need drama, you don't need doubt, you don't need daily detours. What you need is space to build, to think, to become. So protect your gate, because not everyone deserves a seat at the table you're setting for your future. Focus requires filters. Shrink the noise and watch your clarity expand. Rule number 7, track energy, not just time. You blocked out the hours, made the to-do list, planned your entire day. But when it's time to execute, you're exhausted, foggy, distracted, and now the hours you have mean nothing because your energy is gone. Here's the truth. Time is the container, but energy is what fills it. You can schedule 3 hours to write, but if your mind is spinning or your body is burnt, those 3 hours disappear. The Stoics didn't worship time. They studied rhythms. They aligned their effort with their state. Seneca reminded, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And wasting doesn't always mean Netflix. Sometimes it's doing the right thing at the wrong energetic moment. Here's your shift. Stop tracking time like a machine. Start observing energy like an artist. Try this. Throughout your day, ask, when do I feel most clear? When does my energy crash? What triggers my drain? Then schedule around that. Do deep work when your mind is sharp. Handle admin when energy dips. Protect high energy zones like gold, because the goal isn't to fill the day, it's to fill it with value, and that requires attunement, not just structure. Remember, a low energy mind in a high priority task is a form of self-sabotage. Time management is good, but energy mastery, that's Stoic strategy. So track it, respect it, and guard it like your next level depends on it. Rule number 8, build an identity, not just habits. You wake up early, you hit the gym, you journal, you do the things, but deep down, it still feels like a performance, like something you're trying to keep up. And the moment stress hits, the moment life pushes back, everything collapses. Why? Because your habits aren't rooted in who you are, they're just things you do, and that's the problem. You don't Rosetto the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. The Stoics weren't just checking off tasks, they were becoming patient, becoming disciplined, becoming clear. Marcus Aurelius never said do Stoic things. He lived Stoicism as who he was. Here's your shift. Stop asking, what should I do today? Start asking, who am I building today? Try this. Before every decision, pause and ask, what would the future me do in this exact moment? Not the idealized you, not the fantasy version, but the you that actually lives this path. Then act from that place and do it again tomorrow and the next day, until your habits are no longer effort. They're evidence of the you that lives beneath the noise, because when identity leads, consistency follows. And when you shift who you are, everything else shifts with it. Rule number 9, reflect before you reset. You miss a workout, you break a streak, you fall off the plan, and immediately, the voice kicks in, start over, reset everything. Tomorrow, I'll be better. It sounds noble, like a second chance. But here's the trap. Resetting without reflecting is just repeating. You haven't changed the pattern. You've just changed the start date. And that's why most fresh starts fade in a week. The Stoics didn't rush into doing. They paused. They looked inward. Epictetus reminded, first learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. Same goes for actions. Here's your shift. Stop restarting out of guilt. Start restarting from clarity. Try this. Before you reset, ask, what broke? Where did I drift? What triggered this detour? Write it, name it, own it, because awareness is stronger than willpower. And if you want a reset that actually sticks, you need to study the slip, not shame it. Every fall is a feedback loop. Use it. Let it refine your system. Let it teach you about yourself. Because the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistently conscious. Slower, reset, deeper commitment, stronger. You. That's Stoic growth. Rule number 10, act like time is running out. We live like we have forever, like there's always next week, next year, someday. But the Stoics, they saw through that lie. They didn't fear death. They used it. Seneca said, you act like mortals in all that you fear and like immortals in all that you desire. In other words, we panic over small things, but waste the biggest thing we have, our time. You say you want to write the book, but you scroll instead. You say you want peace, but you keep checking the noise. You say you want focus, but you stay busy. Why? Because part of you believes there's still time. But here's the truth. You don't know how many mornings you have left. That's not a threat, it's a call. To live with urgency, not anxiety. To move with clarity, not panic. To act like the clock isn't just ticking, it's running. Here's your shift. Stop living like time is infinite. Start making decisions. Like this week could change everything. Try this. When faced with distraction, ask, if I had 100 days left, would this still be worth my energy? Let that question guide your calendar, your boundaries, your goals. Because urgency doesn't mean rushing. It means stripping away what doesn't matter so you can pour your whole being into what does. Every hour is a vote. Every choice is a seed. Make them count, because life isn't waiting. And neither should you. You don't need more time. You need more truth about how you're spending it. These 10 Stoic rules, they're not hacks, they're not tricks, they're reminders of the power you still hold to protect your focus, guard your peace, and live like your days actually matter. So here's the question. Which rule will you start with today? Comment below. Which of these 10 shifts do you need most right now? Let it be a commitment, not to me, but to the future version of you that's counting on this shift to happen. And remember, time doesn't wait, but you don't need it to, because the moment you move, everything starts catching up. Stay clear, stay focused, stay stoic.